Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I was asked by a viewer, how do I set the bail spring on a Shakespeare Royal Maroon fishing reel, a classic? Well, I got one here. I got ahead of myself here. Took the rotor off. I like to work with the rotor in the off position. To do that, you want to disconnect the trail arm and this axle shaft, pull that up, and then remove the rotor. You can do this on the reel. My preference is to do that off the reel. To know how you're going to set this, understand that there's one spring side, it's this one, that the other side is just a holding in place for the spring catch mechanism. When you go to trip, it's going to pull in. When you hit the ramp, it's going to fire, but there is no spring on this side of the bail. The action side is over here. And when I work on bail springs, I want to remove the bail wire from the travel arm. So we'll just take that off. I've used the little ratchet wrench to do that. And when I remove this, well, I want to put that screw right back onto the bail wire. That way I don't lose it. I said screw, I meant nut. And as I mentioned, there is no spring on this side, but if you want to get that bail wire out of the way, go ahead and pull that down. And you'll see there's no spring in the cavity. Just set that off to the side. When I set it off to the side, I like to put that into a parts tray. That's so that I know where to find that when I go to reinstall. Now we can get over to the business end of this, which is where the spring is housed. And you'll notice we've got a good fire, and underneath here is that little lever part that's going to hit the stop. So we'll take a screwdriver and we're going to unscrew this to show you how this assembly is set up. And then we'll show you how it goes back together again. So this is a good point while I'm doing this to tell you, if you like these types of videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more, please hit the notification button. That way when I post the videos, you'll be able to see them. And those videos will let you know which ones you might want to watch. All right, here's the spring assembly. You have a 90-degree angle to the spring, which fits into the housing here. And then you'll notice on this side we have a hook spring. And that hook spring is going to ride in this little channel, like that. So it's always a question, how do you set that so that the spring can ride freely and you're set up? Because you need to have this over here. This is the way it will sit. And you need to have it under tension. So what I like to do is I like to back this up completely. So all of the tension off of it, somewhere like here. And then I want to get the screw started. Just enough so that I can walk this around and clear the corner. So what I want to do, once that is set in the case here, I have that kind of right-angled one working. I want to put this in way behind where it belongs. So that's the inside. I want to hook this tab way back here. And we know that's not where it's going to land, but that's where I'm going to start. Just like that. I'm going to put the screw in at this point. Now the issue with this one is always that you have to clear the piece over here. And so I leave it proud and I start turning this, still holding onto that spring. and working with this until I can clear that corner there. And it's just kind of little small turns, almost there. But you want to keep tension on so that you don't have that spring drop out as you do this. And just maybe not even a quarter of a turn each time. There we go. We're set through now. I'm holding the tension on, and now I'm going to reverse. I'm going to tighten. And there's a shoulder here that has to clear. So once you do that, push down on this. Again, you have to hold the tension, but push down until you can clear that shoulder. Just like that. And then if you've done it right, you've got your snapping bail. So let's do that one more time just so that everybody picks up on it, and particularly the viewer who asked the question. So we're going to take this off, and we'll remove that spring. Alright, so everything is out here. We have the spring with the flat side sticking straight out, and then we have the hook side. The flat side is going to go into the carrier here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that bail arm. The arm with the trap or the little stud on the back is the inside. And we're going to hook that around that bail spring way out of sync with how this goes. So it's way up top here to the point where we can get that screw started in the bail arm. And when you're doing that, you want to hold the tension so that you don't pop that spring out, right? All right, once you get enough that you can feel it's dependable, come on, try to slide that over now. And I'm almost over it, you can see. And you have to keep that tension on that bail arm to do this. And once you've cleared that little hump there with your piece, just to tighten it down the rest of the way. You have your click. So let's go ahead and put the rest of the bail assembly back on. And put this back on the reel from whence it came. So if you push down on the bottom of this lever, it'll enable you to put this side in easily. Start by mounting the screw into the hole, keeping the lever open. And again, you have a shoulder on this screw, so you're going to want to square that up. Make sure that it's in. And we can tighten this piece down. And now we have the nut that's going to hold the bail on this side. Insert the stud into the bail arm. Tighten as much as we can by hand, and reverse the throw on your ratchet wrench. Flip the bail, go underneath, watch your fingers, trip the bail, and you have a functioning bail. So let's just go over one more time. We've done it twice. Let's just tell you what we did. Disconnected the bail wire. It's always a fight if you try to do it without the bail wire, and you saw why. Once the bail wire is removed, you want to take the bail arm, put it in completely relaxed position, which means this bar here is going to be sitting pretty much this way on the reel. Make sure that that little hook mechanism is in the offset that you see on the bail arm, and then tighten the screw down. Now tighten the screw down is going to lock that little angle onto this piece of metal, and then you have to walk it back. So you're going to just keep reversing the screw's tension until you can clear this stop with the bail arm stud. And always keeping that tension on that screw and on it by kind of carrying it up this way so that you don't separate the metal and the metal screw. Once you're over, tighten down. Reinstall your bail wire, and keeping your fingers out of the way, go fishing again. That goes back on the reel. like that. And the rest of it gets tightened up and put back into place. So that's the way I do it, and hopefully it will be helpful to those of you that have either had to replace that bail spring or just took it off for servicing and kind of got stuck on the project. So hope that's been helpful. If you have questions on this reel or any reel, please leave them in the comments section. I will be happy to respond to the questions. Hopefully I know the answer. If not, I'll try and point you in the right direction. And to all that are first responders and essential personnel, thank you for what it is that you've been doing to keep us safe during the pandemic. And to everybody, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.